In the midst of his mid-career renaissance, Sean Baker has brought 4 genuinely classic modern films to the table in a row. This includes Tangerine, a movie famous for its groundbreaking use of an iPhone to shoot an entire film, shot in 2014 by the way, before people knew for sure that it would work. The Florida Project, a movie that utilized non-actors to create a purely authentic narrative. Red Rocket, his most undervalued and yet arguably his most lovable of the 3, and his most recent one, Anora, which won arguably the most prestigious award the film industry can offer. While there may be arguments as to the quality of his films, there is no doubt the stamp he has on the film industry is severe. If he makes another movie with this level of success, he may even be a filmmaker you can talk to your coworkers about. But before we get to that, let me get to the drink I'm drinking so that I can talk in front of a camera. The drink this week is cucumber lime Gatorade that I've gotten from my old place about a year ago, and I just found it in my pantry closet. I love Gatorade. It brings out the inner child in me, and I love the inner child in me. And so I love Gatorade. This is cucumber lime flavor, my second favorite flavor, next to, of course, Frost Glacier Freeze, my favorite flavor. I am drinking it because I was helping a friend move out. Hi, Max, if you're watching this. And so I am very tired right now, and I'm exhausted. So this is Gatorade. Anora, starring Mikey Madison, follows a young stripper who is brought into relation with a spoiled teenage Russian. Because of his monetary influence, she tries her best to stay in his life and does whatever she can to attain him. The first thing I think about when I think about this film is the story. Not the script exactly or the dialogue, but more the storyboard in particular had an empathetic voice that kept the audience on their toes and took the film in exciting directions that subverted my expectation. Sean Baker is a master of many things, but one of the most important ones is, I think, an ability to empathize and give real love to his characters, both big characters and small. You can tell by the way he writes that everyone is in their own individual universe, and he refuses to write a film that belittles the ensemble cast. If I were a small-time actor, I would be chopping at the bit to work with him, because if you do well in your role, you may just end up the lead. He's clearly able to shift his perspective towards whatever working, even if it means changing the film entirely. Now, stylistically, this film is a little bit different from his previous work. He was in my head quite a arbiter of color in that all of his films previously had a great sense of brightness to them. This movie takes place in New York and decidedly different from the landscape of Florida, so his cinematography is adjusted to that kind of change. Story-wise, though, the film is right in the ballpark with his other films. Oh my god, I love that. It's very sex-intensive, with motifs of class differences, highlighting the community and humanity of the lower class specifically. That's Sean Baker. He's played his hand. Luckily, there are about 1 million different ways to tell that story, and I don't think the class problem is going to go away anytime soon. Another one of the things Sean Baker gets right consistently in his filmography is the ability to cast the perfect person for the role and to utilize them brilliantly. Simon Rex is a great example of this, as someone who his career got derailed recently by certain porn, and well, he was a fantastic actor, and Sean Baker gave him another chance with the role he had, and that turned into one of the great performances that I've seen in recent memory. Savor this. It may go away someday. Now, clearly, it's impossible to talk about this movie without the great Mikey Madison. Before the showing of this film, I had the privilege to watch an introduction by Sean Baker himself, in which he specifically and intensively talked about Mikey Madison and her work in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I had forgotten that I'd seen her in this movie, and I'd forgotten that she was fantastic. So it was wonderful to see him talk so intensely about that performance and why she ended up on a short list of his. It also reminded me that I needed to watch that film again, because clearly with the kind of talent that Tarantino was able to pull, let me list it all really quickly. Austin Butler, Sidney Sweeney, Mikey Madison, somebody else that I forgot, Margaret Qualley, that's the person that I was forgetting. That is such a lightning in a bottle movie that I have to watch it again with all of this retrospective understanding of who these people are. But anyway, Madison brought an unyielding energy to the role, like an infinite geyser of passion that came across in all of her emotions as she was feeling them. Her mannerisms were down to a T, feeling as if they were as real and natural as all of Baker's other characters. Oh, wow. But within that realism, she was able to display a larger-than-life charisma and a sharp personality bereft of the pain she really feels. Other standouts in the film include Mark Edelstein, someone who captured so closely the kind of rich, spoiled kids that I've seen so many times in my life. Another one being Anton Bitter, a character who I adored in this film and who I can't find too much when I'm researching him for this role. The characters together start to feel like a found family dynamic, and I mean that in the best of ways. As far as the technicals go, though, I wouldn't necessarily say I've been blown away. I could tell Baker wasn't quite as home in the New York setting, and where he really elevated here came from the outskirts of town or in the strip club. I know he went to NYU, it's just something about the way he shoots Florida that is just completely different to me. Not that it's bad here per se, it's definitely good. I just don't think it's quite as good as his stuff previously. The lighting, editing, and music didn't have a major effect on me other than thinking the pacing was good and the strip club had some nice color to it. That could fall more on my inability to discern than a genuine critique though, so I may have to give it another rewatch to see how it goes down the line. Oh, Vegas was shot well. All in all, this is a great film and generally worth the praise it's receiving. It's nice to feel like a great filmmaker is getting his turn on the award circuit, especially because he's deserved it for a while. Exciting performances, empathetic storytelling. I'm going to have to give this film a Lionturtle. God damn. But that's just my opinion, so I want to know your opinion, whoever you are, and if you come here into the darkness, I will show you the light. And so that's how I feel about this film and how I feel about you personally. And so to that, I'm going to say cheers to you in my little Snoopy glass. It's so cute, and I love you. Goodbye.